back to good old-fashioned graphing again. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be graphing and shading y equals mx plus b. So a quick couple of reminders. Couple quick reminders when you're graphing these things. Remember, if it is a less than or equal to symbol, it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it is going to be a solid line. If it's just less than or if it is just equal to, it is a dotted line. That's kind of like the idea of when we're graphing. All other rules for graphing hold true. You guys might want to just grab two of them. You'll need one sheet for homework and probably one for your notes. If you don't need one, don't take one. So when we're doing these things again, remember, a couple ways you can go about it. Excuse me, a couple ways to go about it. Get it slope-intercept form, if you like. Negative 2y less than or equal to negative 4x plus 8. Now the one rule when you're dealing with inequalities, whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, what is the one thing you have to be sure to do? Switch your inequality. Okay? That's one thing that most students tend to forget about. Please, 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 please don't forget about changing your inequality if and only if you multiply or divide by a negative. So here you wind up with, when you divide up by all your negatives, 2x minus 4. Okay? You go ahead and you start your plot like you would normally. We start at negative 4 and you walk the slope of 2. Will that become a solid or a dotted line when you fill them in? Solid as a rock. Sorry. And then you've done about half of what you need to do. This wasn't the calculator. There's one other thing you have left to try. You have to shade. Yes, ma'am?
Why did the negative signs go away from the divided?
Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is?
Oh, you divided by negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can't read my chicken scratch?
Sorry.
How can you not read my chicken scratch?
And then
Oh, I like it.
Over.
You see that now? No.
You see it now?
yeah. I think you know how to work this.
What? What?
How are you doing that?
Do you like take classes on smartboard, like technology?
He's a witch.
He's a witch. Burn him! Burn! Sorry.
Put it in the water, see me float.
Yeah. Like a little tiny pebble.
MG.
It's magic.
Nice to make magic. You can really give me right now.
I just say it's magic. It's math magical. Anyway, so what's left here?
Do you know how to make it to where you write it, but it turns into like you just typed it?
Is it mine?
Yes, I do.
Do it. How do you do it?
I will tell you later. I can also make my smartboard talk, but I will save that for another day. Oh no, there's a ghost that erased it!
So you
was
write it and type it out? It'll like it just like
That was great. That was great.
Oh,
That's it.
glitch.
Anyway.
Oh.
Anywho, we are almost done with this part. What happens when you are graphing inequalities, the last bit that you have to do is you have to shade. And when you're shading, you have to find what is called a test point. And a test point is any point that does not lie upon the line you just graphed. Now, when I'm looking at the XY grid, I have to find an ordered pair. And the easiest ordered pair to do substitution with is what? 0, 0, at the origin, because that's very happy, easy math. So,
my professor called it.
Nerd. Anyway, so what you do here is the last step after you graph and plot these things, which I know most of you guys are not going to have any issues with this whatsoever, is that you have to go back and use a test point. That test point tells you whether or not you have a true or a false statement. So you take your ordered pair of 0, 0, and you always substitute back into the original equation. So I check, is 4 times 0 minus 2 times 0 smaller than 8? Yes, 0 is smaller than 8, so that means it's a true statement. You want to cover up the truth. It's a conspiracy. And you shade it. From right here.
Oh.
I'm just going back to the original
I was
equation.
thinking about why.
Done. What's that? It's showing that it's shaded. It's showing that that side of the graph is the shaded region. What happens here? Exactly. Pay attention to what I'm doing now. What happens here is that that line. You guys remember what a plane is from geometry?
Yes.
A flat surface extended in two directions. Your XY coordinate grid is a two-dimensional plane. That line cut the plane into what's called half planes. One half of the plane is correct, the other half of the plane is not. So since we are plotting, we're trying to cover up the conspiracy. We're plotting. That was a joke from another. It wasn't my joke. It was from a kid in third hour. She came up with that, and I thought it was funny.
I'm so confused right now.
Just nod and smile. So all we have to worry about is we're covering up the truth, all right? And I know you guys have all seen this before. This should not come as a surprise, okay? Questions? You haven't seen this before?
No, it's something.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you have, all right, you have positive 2
Uh-huh.
y.
Then you don't
divide,
figure-
and you divide that from
Bless you.
minus 4 like you did. Would you still switch the sign?
No, because
It's only if the y is
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, what he's asking here, guys, is if the situation was like this, where it was 2y was less than or equal to negative 4x plus 8, when you divide out by 2, are you dividing by 2 or negative 2? You're just divided by 2, so the sign stays. That's all it is. Yeah, let's.
Derek wants to know what the joke was.
Don't worry about it. Let's try another one. Like I said, do 2 of them.
Dude.
Oops. Does nobody else uses a smartboard like this?
No.
No.
No one.
It
No one
can't
has
get
ever
turned
done
on.
this.
Yeah.
That's sad. Look, that could make me little.
I can.
Everybody can do that.
That's what they do accidentally half the time.
Yeah, wait. The best part is if we can just play.
What's that?
Basketball.
It's a basketball. Slam dunk!
It didn't go.
Stuck.
I'm an idiot. Anyway, try and grab these two real fast. We'll check them and see how we go, all right? And this is all on tape, so it's even better.